Hello, and welcome to Friday After Work Music. A short play, a story, and coexistence, which is the theme of today's episode. And today, I'm going to continue with scenes from my play, Doomsday, USA. And if you have watched this before, you know that Doomsday, USA tells the story of Josh, who has created a summer camp where humans and monsters can come and learn one another's traditions while breaking down stereotypes. I played the first scene many times, but I've added some scenes. So I think I'll go back from the beginning and start from there. And then maybe in the future, instead of replaying the same scenes again and again, I'll just start from where we left off. But for now, I'll start from the beginning again. So we'll start with the beginning of Doomsday USA, where Josh introduces the camp, and he's around a campfire, and he gets news about two of his counselors missing in the woods. So let's start from there. Howdy campers, and welcome to Camp Doomsday, the only summer camp in the world where humans and monsters interact with one another and form lifelong relationships. My name is Josh, and here is Jerry, the camp mascot. You know, every time you watch some program, you hear of the zombie apocalypse, or you hear of humans having to protect themselves from menacing creatures. But we at Camp Doomsday don't believe it has to be that way. Our camp gives humans and monsters an opportunity to learn one another's traditions while breaking down stereotypes. Our staff is made up of both humans and monsters alike in a variety of positions, showing we can learn to live together with one another when given an opportunity. But if you don't believe me, just listen to my co-founder and co-director in this program, Guzzle the Witch. She can help explain it. So, whether you're a human or a monster, if you have a young child, enroll them in Camp Doomsday this year. The place where humans and monsters coexist. Later that night, Josh is at the campfire with other counselors and campers. All right, everyone, we got time for one more song. So let us play a song to celebrate humans and monsters working together. filled with fright, especially on Halloween night. Witches and goblins and ghosts in these spectacular hosts, hiding all of the way until the break of day. Everyone is filled with fright, especially on Halloween night. Dark spirits are floating around, capturing all of the town. Humans and monsters are friends, from this day now till the end. Humans and monsters are friends, from this day now till the end. Witches and goblins and ghosts of these spectacular hosts, guiding you all of the way until the break of day. Everyone is filled with fright, especially on Halloween night. Dark spirits are floating around, capturing all of the town. All right, that's enough for tonight, everybody. Okay, are you two going out? All right. Well, just make sure you're back with your campers by the morning. I'll see you then. The next morning, Josh is in his office and he gets a phone call. Hello? No, I haven't seen them. Well, then who was with their campers this morning? Oh, thanks, Jesse, for covering. Last I saw them was last night after the sing-along. All right. I'll send a message. Thanks. Hey, have you seen Billy and Gazelle this morning? I just got a message they weren't with their campers. Well, I saw them last night after the sing-along. They said they were going in the woods. No, they've never missed anything before. This is very strange. Well, I just sent a message to Billy, so I'm going to wait for a reply. And if I don't hear from them in like 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to have to go looking for them myself. All right, and that's where I'm at with the story for now. So I've just got to keep working on the play, and hopefully I'll develop more scenes in future. All right, now I'm going to read. Here is a magazine I made called Let's Have Fun. And you know, Doomsday USA is about humans and monsters learning to live together with one another. But I actually had something similar in real life. I went to a 5K race. I went to a 5K race on Labor Day about 6 months ago. It was called the Interfaith 5K of Montgomery County in Maryland. And I wrote about this story, and I'll tell you about it. So it's similar. It was held by people of different religions trying to bring people together, kind of how Josh is trying to bring together humans and monsters for his summer camp. So here's the story. The 8th Monco Interfaith 5K is held in Maryland by myself. The 8th Monco Interfaith 5K was held at the South Germantown Recreational Park in Boyds, Maryland on Labor Day. The race goes up and down hills on a series of paved trails throughout a scenic area. This annual tradition is sponsored by local synagogues, churches, and mosques around the Maryland and Washington, D.C. area. Quote, "We have a lot more in common with one another," end quote, was the repeated message of the race organizers. At a time when there remains a lot of discord between people of different religious traditions, such an activity is a great way to bring people of various beliefs together and promote our common humanity. This event is also a reminder that there are people of different backgrounds, religious or otherwise, that would like to work together to make the world more harmonious. More often than not, the media gives more attention to those that promote extreme agendas and strife. While it is impossible to ignore these voices entirely, that is, the voices of extremism and strife, it is also important to remember groups and individuals that are working together and not fighting with one another. I made a video about the Monco Interfaith 5K, which you can find on YouTube, called Coexistence Corner News, the Monco Interfaith 5K. So you can read that and more in my magazine called Let's Have Fun. Now, another example of coexistence I'd like to also talk about, right now I'm reading this book. It's called Crossing Boundaries, A Traveler's Guide to World Peace. So the writer is Aziz Abusara. He's a Palestinian who has actually worked with Israelis. As many people know, there's been an ongoing conflict in the Middle East. He talks about how he discovered a lot about Israelis by, well, he took a Hebrew class 20 minutes from where he lived in West Jerusalem and realized he didn't know a lot about them. But then after that, he began, he was the leader of an organization called the Bereaved Families Forum, in which, relatives of those who have died in the conflict gather together on both sides, both Israeli and Palestinian, and try to promote, nonviolence and trying to learn to listen to one another. So through that group, he began organizing tours, travel tours for both sides to go to the other, Palestinians to Israelis, Israelis to Palestinians, to begin to learn about, each other's narrative, each other's point of view. And, from that, he sees travel as a great opportunity to build relationships with people. He's a huge advocate of people meeting those they would otherwise never meet. And he's an advocate of people when they travel in general, making sure they're not just going to tourist hotspots, but also making sure that they're interacting with local populations. And he's, says people should go to smaller towns or villages where people may need the tourist dollars more. So I've only read 2 chapters, but I really like the message. It's very similar to the message I'm promoting of coexistence and tolerance between people of different backgrounds. So I highly recommend this book, at least based on the first 2 chapters, but I'll continue talking about it in the future as well. So this is called Crossing Boundaries, A Traveler's Guide to World Peace. All right. Here's another song I'm planning to use in the Doomsday USA play, although I haven't quite found exactly the scene it's going to go in. But this is Ghost in the Woods, and this will also be found in that play. Ghost in the Woods is not about coexistence. It's actually about somebody who believes that, who has heard there is a ghost in the woods, and the people around him think that he is crazy for saying that. But I'm still trying to find a way to fit that into the play. So. play a couple of other songs to wrap this up. Haunted house, it's a haunted house standing on a hill. Haunted house, it's a haunted house giving us a chill. Haunted house, it's a haunted house, evil ghosts live there. Haunted house, it's a haunted house, enter if you dare. Haunted house, it's a haunted house standing on a hill. Haunted house, it's a haunted house giving us a chill. So, on that note, wishing everybody a happy weekend, and I'll see you next week for hopefully more additions to my play, more music, more stories, and a good time. Have a nice weekend.